So I wonder if you could explain surrender. Maybe I'm confused on that, or is this just part of the process?
It has to do with the will.
Uh-huh.
Okay? All spiritual work centers on the fulcrum of the will. It's only by the assent of the will. And it's by the assent of the will that your karmic destiny is set and the calibrated level of consciousness is set, because the two go together. Yeah? It's only by the will. So the surrender is surrender of what? It's surrender of volition, of will, and trying to control. Yeah? So the will expresses itself in ordinary life as trying to control. And willpower, is very weak. Everybody's tried willpower, and so the will of the ego is relatively weak. The will of the ego calibrates at exactly the same level as your personal level. So if you're at 205 and you exert your will, the power of that will is going to be at 205, which may tip the balance. Huh? The invocation, see, will with a capital W is the will of God. And when you surrender to God's will, that means you've removed your own resistance and positionalities and vanities. Now you've opened the door, and the spiritual will, the will of God, as you experience it within, calibrates at 850. Wow. Well, 850 will knock just about anything off the path. So the personal will, then, is insufficient to overcome even a bad habit. The divine will, however, is enormously powerful. So when you invite in divine will, then be prepared. Be prepared when you invite in divine will, because it may sweep people right out of your family situation, may sweep you right from one part of the country to another, may change your health. You may go from wealth to poverty or vice versa.
And this is by volition.
No, it's not by volition, it's by the will of God. Volition then is personal will. You might say willfulness. Even though you purify it with a spiritual sounding goal, it's still willfulness. It's willful to even insist that you're going to be enlightened, right? Who wants to be enlightened? The ego wants to be enlightened, okay. So if you surrender then the will to God and you say, I align myself with thee, O Lord, that I may be thy servant, that I may fulfill my infinite potential to thy glory, etc. So this as a way of being in the world now invites divine will. And then, as I say, you better be prepared, because whatever it takes throwing you off a cliff to get it, that's what happens. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.